Welcome to Holistic Health Made Simple, where you will find health solutions to set you free from the overwhelm of diet culture and frustration with the ever-changing health rules. We go beyond the calorie and diet dogma to equip you to be healthy through simple changes to real food, mindset, and lifestyle. Hey, I'm Jolene. I'm a nutritional therapy practitioner, wife, furry guardian, and non-bendy yogi. Like you, I spent years chasing skinny instead of health. I finally learned that I needed to take a holistic approach to health and give my body what it needed to thrive. If you are ready to find a health plan that is tailored to you and your current health, solutions that are broken down into simple steps to make it easier to implement, results that are undeniable like more energy, improved mood, better sleep, and fat loss, this is the podcast for you. Pop in those headphones, take a deep breath, and let's get healthy. Hey there! Have you been eyeing that latest detox thing, whether it's a pill, a cleanse, a potion, a lotion, a tea, whatever it is? Well, before you shell out your hard-earned cash, let me tell you a little secret. Shh! Your body has a natural detox system, and all you need to do is to support it. It's actually pretty common, healthy, and good to want to clean our system or detox our system. But that doesn't mean you need to spend a week in the bathroom. Spending that time in the bathroom, or those colon dumps, as I like to call them, doesn't necessarily mean you're actually clearing out your system, and it's not needed to actually cleanse. You see, your body is always detoxing. You have organs that do this. That is part of their job. Your liver, kidneys, lungs, GI tract, and skin are all the organs responsible for detoxing stuff out of your system. So unless you need a really major detox protocol, which actually should be guided by a qualified practitioner, like someone like me, like a holistic nutritionist, a functional medicine doctor, someone like that. The best strategies for a general detox is to reduce toxic exposure and then support your natural detoxification processes. One of the reasons I say that you should use a qualified practitioner for some of the major detoxes is because doing it on your own, you don't know all the steps. When we start taking things that are supposed to release metals or toxins out of our system, what the average person doesn't know is you also need a binder, because you can get them out of your cells and then they roam through your body. But if you don't have something that's going to actually bind them and get them out, they're just going to replant themselves in cells. Also, if the organs that are responsible for detoxification, those pathways aren't actually open, you're going to get stuck. It's going to do the exact same thing. It's going to re-land back in the cells and make you worse off. So really be aware that if you just support your body's natural ability and reduce the toxic exposure, you're going to do what these major cleanses say. Your body is just going to handle it on its own. It's going to do its thing. Our body is way smarter than we give it credit for. Its main job is to keep us healthy and thrive. It's just that we keep throwing crap at it that it doesn't like. So let's kind of go into the different organs and how we can support them. First up, we are going to tackle the organ that is primary in the detoxification process, which is your liver. So the liver takes harmful, toxic substances and converts it into less harmful substances so that it can be eliminated from the body. Think of things like medications, alcohol, other byproducts of the body that needs to get out. Now, contrary to popular belief, our liver does not actually store the toxins. It processes them to be eliminated. And it's very important that this pathway is open and healthy so that we can get these major toxins out of our body. So exactly how do we do this? Well, friends, we go back to a whole real foods diet, like that keeps coming up in all the themes throughout getting healthy. Real whole foods. Eliminate your processed foods. Remove sugary drinks, alcohol, things that make the liver work harder. Sugary drinks generally have high fructose corn syrup in it, or their juices, which might seem natural, but Juices have a high amount of fructose. Fructose, in the form of high fructose corn syrup or just from regular fruit, can only be processed in the liver. So we don't want to give the liver added burden. Now, on occasion, hey, go for it. I always prefer people eating a whole fruit than drinking the juice because of the toxic load that it gives to the liver or the excessive load that it gives to the liver. But that's one of the main things. Go back to your whole, real foods diet and stay hydrated. You know, you need plenty of hydration to make your liver function properly. Along with staying hydrated, you want to minimize your toxic exposure, which in today's society is incredibly difficult because we live in a very toxic world. And I'm talking about actually pollutants versus people at the moment, but the pollutants are everywhere. So you just got to minimize it to the best of your ability. Think of things like pesticides. If someone's like your exterminator spraying around your house, try to avoid that. Cleaning products are a big one. Try to have lots of ventilation when you're cleaning, or if you're in a building or an office setting where someone's using harsh chemicals to clean, go outside, get some fresh air. Just try to do your best to minimize that exposure, because you're not going to run away from air pollutants. I mean, you got to breathe and you got to live. So don't go crazy, but do your best to reduce it as much as possible. Maybe go through your house and go to some less toxic cleaning supplies just to help you personally overall. So when we talk about minimizing toxin exposure in a different one, we need to talk about limiting alcohol consumption. Alcohol is a true toxin to the liver. It's a toxin to the body. The body needs to process it and get it out before it can do anything else. Now, I'm not telling you can never drink again. I am not your mom. You need to make the choice of what toxic loads your body can handle or can't handle. But if you're going through a detox or working on detoxification, eliminate alcohol while you're doing it. It will help the liver be able to process other things. So this last one's a little no-brainer. Avoid unnecessary medications. I'm not talking about your prescriptions. Take your prescriptions as they were prescribed by your doctor. I am not a doctor. I am not your doctor. I'm not even your healthcare provider. However, with that said, avoid unnecessary medications, specifically things like over-the-counter drugs or supplements that act like drugs. They all have to go through your liver and they all have to go and get processed. And if you're trying to support your liver and trying to detoxify other things, you don't want to add additional things the liver has to process in the meantime. Now that we know what we can avoid to support the liver, what can we actually add into our diets to support the liver? One of the biggest things we can add to our diet that will help the liver is eat beets. The beets have properties in them that help your digestion, help break down things in your digestive tract so that your liver doesn't have to. So it helps the gallbladder produce more bile with your whole digestion. And it also helps your cardiovascular health, but that's just a bonus. The next thing you can add to your diet to help support the liver is actually eating liver. Now, a lot of people don't like liver. I get it. I'm not a big fan of liver either, but there's lots of creative ways to get liver in your diet. One of the easiest ways is to get fresh, healthy liver from grass-fed, grass-finished beef, chop it up in pill-sized little chunks, throw it in the freezer, and then swallow them. But there's also some liver capsules you can get that don't have fillers. I think Ancient Nutrition is one. I don't have them all off the top of my head. But adding some liver into your diet will help your own liver. And then as far as supplements concerned, teas like milk thistle, dandelion root, and then a digestive enzyme to help your body break down things are all things you can do to help support the liver, because your liver is your biggest organ when it comes to detoxification. So your liver's breaking down all the toxins into smaller pieces to be eliminated by waste, and your kidneys actually filter the waste products and get them out. So how do we actually support our kidneys? Well, we want to make sure, again, we're hydrated. Hydration, liquid, makes everything flow out your body. It's really important to support your kidney function with enough water. Hydration, but hydration, which means you might need some electrolytes. Now, there's a lot of give and take when it comes to sodium in your kidneys. The kidneys need a right balance of sodium and potassium, because together, when you have that balance, it maintains a healthy blood pressure. A healthy blood pressure is healthy for the kidneys. High blood pressure actually strains your kidneys. So we want to get this balance of hydration with sodium and potassium and water so that our body can eliminate things properly and not affect our heart rate at all. So we also want to, again, limit over-the-counter pain medicines because they actually harm the kidneys. So, we don't want to take, if you take Advil, aspirin, something like that on a rare occasion, that's one thing. Taking it excessively for long periods of time can really, really mess up your kidneys. So we want to do that. So hydration is one of the key things to help your kidneys eliminate this waste. As we continue down the road of internal organs, let's touch on the intestines, which are also a huge part of eliminating the toxins. They don't process it, they actually just eliminate it. Liver processes it, your kidneys process a little bit of it, and then your intestines, along with the kidneys, help remove the waste. How do we keep our intestines healthy? Fiber. Now, a lot of people have pros and cons about fiber, how much you need. That's highly individual, but what fiber does as it goes through your intestinal tract, think of it like a broom. It kind of sweeps everything up and collects it and makes it into a nice ball that gets eliminated in your poop. Hydration. Without hydration, you have a solid ball that doesn't come out. I know I'm a little gross here, but I think that's the easiest way to explain it. So you want to make sure that you have enough fiber in your diet that it is sweeping all these toxins out, collecting them together and getting them out of you, and that you're hydrated enough that they don't get stuck inside you. Now, fiber does not make you go poop. I just got to put this caveat out there. It actually just bulks everything up and kind of cleans along the way. I'm pretty sure the organs I just went through, you're really familiar with, that they're all part of the internal detoxification process. So let's touch on something that is not often thought of when we're talking about detoxification. First up is the skin. Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? It's this barrier between the outside of your body and the inside of your body, and it can let toxins in as well as let them out. So sometimes when we see things like acne and rashes, that's your body trying to get toxins out of you or not allow them in. So we want to make sure that we have really good, healthy skin, which does start with the digestive part of the toxin load that we were talking about earlier. But also we need to practice some steps to keep our skin healthy. One would be good hygiene. Be clean, people. Just be clean. And then we want to protect it from environmental toxins, such as, again, we're going to go back to the cleaning supplies. Wear your gloves. Don't get it on your skin. We don't want to actually have it touching our skin so that we don't get the toxins absorbed. Our body absorbs whatever's on our skin. So think of things that you are putting on your skin that could be causing a toxic load. Check your products. Check all your beauty products. Your skin, everything gets absorbed and it gets into your bloodstream and keeps going. Try some dry brushing, and we'll get into that a minute again. Massage, which helps, and then sweat. Sweat is your detoxification process from the skin. So just keep your skin clean. Try not to add any extra toxins through it. And that's how we can keep our skin nice and healthy. And now we're going to go on to the next one. We often forget about our lungs' capability, and what it does for us in a toxicity level is it releases carbon dioxide. It's probably the only place that we release carbon dioxide, by breathing. We release it out of our body because we don't need it in our body. We don't want it in our body. We need that homeostasis of just the right amount. So we need to help keep our lungs nice and healthy by making sure that there's always proper ventilation and that we're getting fresh air in as we're breathing. Avoid smoking, secondhand smoke. I mean, that's like a no-brainer for most of you. And then practice building your lung capacity by doing different breathing exercises. Breathing exercises help strengthen your lungs to be able to eliminate the carbon dioxide even easier, but it also keeps you healthier. So we want to make sure that we're doing regular exercise, but also our breathing exercises to keep our lungs nice and healthy, because not breathing sucks. Lastly, we're going to touch on the lymphatic system. It's not as well understood by the average person, but it's really important in the detoxification process because it is all of your vessels, your tissues, including the organs, but it's everything. It's the system that works together to get those toxins and waste out of the body, to get the junk out. Now, you've heard of lymph nodes, I'm sure, because somebody has talked about lymph nodes in your armpit, you got nodes in your neck. They're all over the place, and we never want trapped toxin in those nodes because that's what leads to things like cancer. So we want to get it to the point where we can do things to get it out of our system, to keep the roadways open. Think of it as like the lymphatic system is the roadways that keep moving things along, getting it out, the roadways to the dump. It gets it out of the city into the dump. One of the ways to keep your lymphatic system healthy is exercise. Regular exercise stimulates your lymphatic system. Walking, rebounding is awesome for the lymphatic system. So doing things like that will help the lymphatic system stay healthy and keep things moving. Dry brushing is another thing. Learn how to do it right. There's certain ways that you need to dry brush, which helps stimulate the circulation. So basically, your lymphatic system is involved in that circulation that circulates things in and out. And tight clothes sometimes can impair the lymphatic system. So wearing tight clothes all the time, we don't want to do that. So try to wear loose-fitting garments in between your tight-fitting garments. We do what we do because, there's fashion. But that's the basic things you can do to support your detoxification system. It's a lot, I know. I went over a lot of things. I hope I didn't talk too fast. But we want to make sure that we're always supporting our liver, kidneys, skin, lungs, intestines, and our lymphatic system so that they are open so the toxins can be released. We want them to get out of our body. We don't want to do some fancy schmancy detox, have them released from the cells, and then just go back in because there's nowhere for it to go. So save some money and do it the natural way. In order to help support you know what to do, grab the handout that's linked in the show notes and start detoxifying your body without spending a ton of money. Until next time, friends, see ya. Bye. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you found value in what you heard today, I would be incredibly grateful if you could help spread the word. Sharing is caring after all. Share the podcast with others that will find the information helpful. It's through your support that I can continue to grow and bring more amazing content. And if you have a spare moment, I would truly appreciate it if you could leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback means the world to me, and it also helps others discover my show. I read every review and take your suggestions to heart, so please don't hesitate to let me know what you think. Remember, you can stay connected with me by following me on Instagram or visiting the website at holistichealthmadesimple.com. I love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to reach out, share your thoughts, ideas, and even suggestions for future episodes. See you later.